get tired earlier, and then I fall asleep and shit, and then I wake up at like 4, 5, 6 in the morning now.
Oh, you still haven't like adjusted to stuff?
Oh, yeah, I guess there's nothing to do really.
Oh,
Being on strike is.
do you want to go with us to my nephew's birthday?
What, today?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be going to watch the Seahawks game after this.
Oh, where are you going?
Over to my buddy Steve's. He got some like 3 racks of ribs or something like that. I'm like, why did you get that much food? There's like 3 of us.
He's like, so back per person.
Mike, you know that I'll probably eat like 2, 3 ribs.
Hey, did you see the TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna have that be like a permanent it's like gonna be your permanent digital like strategy guide? That way you can just reference while you're playing on the other TV.
Great idea. That's a great idea. We're live. I just said screw it. Let's just get the show over with.
Where's everybody else at?
I don't know. They're on they're on a different time zone than us, but ironically, we're the ones that are on the West Coast, and everyone else is ahead of us. So, whatever. You were the inspiration for my show today. Did you know?
Me?
Yeah. Remember when you were like, hey,
I am nobody's inspiration.
Hey, remember when you were like, hey, should I take this like offer or whatever?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a really great offer. I take it. And I was like, what other shitty offers are out there? And so I was looking at like a Venom 9.2 or like 9.0, and dude was asking like $1,500 for it. I was like, what? And then I just was laughing about all the stupid freaking like auctions that I see every day. And I was like, oh, that's a pretty good show topic. I mean, like some of the stuff though on this list too is like stuff that I've been looking at. I'm like, oh, I want to buy that book and stuff. But like,
well, I was like worried they weren't going to pay it too. You were like, yeah, you was like, you should take it and this and that. But it was like, because like I told you, I was like, there was 0 reviews on the account. It had been active since like 2017. And they were from like the Netherlands.
Did you take it or no?
Yeah, I accepted it. And then they like, what was it, yesterday messaged me after a couple of days of like not paying and was like, hey, something's up with like PayPal, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm trying to get it to go through, but I have to talk to them on Monday. And then all of a sudden I woke up today and it's like buyer paid and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, it went through. So I was just like, cause I was like looking around, I was like, is that a good offer? And I was kind of looking at past sales and I'm just like, okay, well, this is like up from that for sure. Of what a last sold like signed newsstand was.
Mm-hmm. Do you need stuff, man? I have extra bubble wrap and stuff. If you
no, I got some bubble wrap there. This one, since it's going like overseas, though, I got like a bunch of shredded paper stuff and whatnot. I'll kind of wrap it in bubble wrap and stick it in there so that it doesn't get damaged going overseas. You never know what they do, man. I've seen Ace Ventura; they kick them shits all over.
I've seen Ace Ventura. That shit's real.
I know that's real.
I know, Mikey. I'm sorry.
Years old at all.
It's because football. I'm sorry.
Except for when they got London games.
We still love you though. I hope you win that award.
Oh, that's right. They still got those things going on, huh?
What?
The CBCA like award stuff.
Yeah. If we don't win, I'm shutting the channel down.
Shutting the shit down.
No, it's all good. So yeah, man, I know we took a week off. I just had some stuff going on last week with like yard work and stuff, and I got my TV set up, dude. Like, okay, so like I've been doing a lot of like demo and like just plumbing stuff and painting and all that crap, right? This was the scariest thing I've done so far.
Well, actually, you had to find the planks and everything, or find all the
because like
studs to be able to drill into and all that.
So yeah, dude, like dropping it. Yeah, so like I don't know why that freaked me out, but like because like what was the worst that's happened? Like it rips a hole in my wall, I gotta patch it up, and then I gotta get a new TV. Oh, darn, But like for whatever reason, man, like this was like probably a 15-minute job, and it took me 15 minutes to do, and like I gotta get cable management stuff. I'm still deciding whether I should like cut a hole in the wall or if I should just like do like the just get like one of those like straight plank things and just like feed it through that way.
Yeah.
Do you have your wires behind your wall? Oh, did you do it or do you have someone do it? I mean, I'm sure you can
I've
do
done
it
it before, but
oh,
it's pretty simple. It's just you just figure out where you want to run it and then do it.
Oh, so you're
Like
saying,
depending on how far it is, like you can use like I usually just like Jimmy rig something to where I can like something solid, like you'll want like I don't know, a coat hanger type material would work, and you can just kind of like feed it across from one to the other and then hook your wire up to that and then pull it back through so that it stays with you. Because like just pushing a wire through the wall sucks. Like
okay, all right, never mind. I'm just gonna get that like plastic thing and just feed it through that way. It's like
but
$20.
also it's like it's just going down, it looks like,
Yeah.
right? So you could probably just go in and then just lower it down and grab it. You'll see it through the hole.
Okay. All right.
Plus you don't have to go through any of the studs back and forth.
No, I would just do it through the
Straight down
drywall.
through the drywall, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, enough DIY stuff. Yeah, kind of a I don't want to say a quick show today, but like I got into like I got some buys of the week too. I've been buying like a lot less than I have been. I've just been honing in on kind of like, you know,
I haven't
stuff.
bought anything in a while, yeah. Like
yeah, which is cool.
I'm just trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, like I've been just like going through slabs and like I'm trying to get to like 2 boxes of slabs, like, and I'll be like my PC or like hold long term. I think Fedora has like a whole long term show coming up. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, sorry, my shoulders are like killing me right now. I'm doing some therapy here. All right. But yeah, man, let's get into the show. What's up, Darth? What's going on?
What up?
Nothing much. Let's see here. Let me just get this.
What I missed? I couldn't open it on my computer.
You didn't miss anything. We were just kind of bullshitting about DIY stuff, but yeah, nothing important, nothing comic book wise. But yeah, just wanted to like put out there, like, if you guys are selling stuff, you know, online, like, and you want to get rid of it, like, don't be dumb. Look at like past sales, and if you're, I hope this list helps people like realize what actual market prices are and what the disparity is between like just the ridiculous asking prices of people out there. And like Pickles was saying, like, you know, it's when you're selling to somebody or buying from someone, like, make sure this reputable, make sure they have like, you know, at least 50 like positive reviews or what have you, just because there's a lot of fraud out there too. But yeah, I just kind of looked at like just some books that I have been on the lookout for, just for like my own PC, or just like just books that you shouldn't be buying in general. So without further ado, let's get into it. And the first one we have Star Wars High Republic, from the Adventure series number 6. There was some spec here. I don't even know what it was, but I remember I was on a channel a long time ago and homie talked about this and it was just really bad. How about that asking price I shared with you? That was crazy. Yes, Michael Baker, that was ridiculous. And I'm sorry, I totally forgot about that because it was a while back. I probably would have put that on the show, but my bad, dude. But that was stupid.
What was it?
It was like I don't know, Michael. What was it again? Maybe you can shoot the link in the chat there. But the market value on this book is negative $65. You literally have to pay me $65 to take this book. I was just kind of keening on some sales and just seeing like the raws and stuff. But the most ridiculous sale I saw, or ask price for this book, was $249.99 right now.
Like raw?
No, for 9.8.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. What is it? A first appearance?
Let's see.
I don't remember, but I know I do remember it catching a buzz. But
it was, you know, that this series caught a buzz because of that whole like Dark Horse was like this series was like better.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah,
and like
High Republic. This was, yeah, that's right. Okay, so this was actually, I think I actually enjoyed reading this more than the High Republic.
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
It's the first appearance of Obroktuk, a Jedi Master cameo of Talboda. Talboda, I guess that was the main dude or person in this book, but I wouldn't touch this book with.
No, not even back then. That was just.
That was an FOC flip that I hope you got rid of all of your copies. I think I gave this book away like as well. But anyway,
I catch on those the moment, the moment at the right moment. I didn't hesitate. I was like, oh, okay, let me cash out now because there's no long term spec in any of these. I don't think.
I don't think there's any long term spec in any modern, unless it's like the defining book of that era, which I still am kind of I don't know about. But yeah, I think we've talked about this in past shows, and Darth, you're probably the most versed in the Star Wars kind of like lore or whatever. But like I think Star Wars spec is dead for right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's why I never bought into anything High Republic. I mean, for reader speculation, yeah. All right, yeah. If you stay in that bubble, yeah, there's a lot of stuff they could do. But as far as seeing any of this on screen, I don't think so.
Yeah, and even if you do, it's like like we had Darth Plagueis, which was kind of cool, but like,
oh yeah, man,
you saw him like for a millisecond. But
right.
Pickles, do you have any Star Wars books at all?
I do, but I couldn't tell you exactly which ones. They're just in the Star Wars section of my long box somewhere.
Do you have a first appearance of the Millennium Falcon?
I do not know.
You don't have a first appearance, but you have a Millennium Falcon tattooed on your arm?
Yeah, correct? But I have Vader's Interceptor and TIE Fighters and Vader on my arm too, plus a little kid stormtrooper leaving the carnival.
And you don't have those in first appearance?
No.
I'm just kidding. I don't care. Everyone, for Pickles' Christmas present, we need to get him a first appearance of Millennium Falcon. I'm just kidding. Doc Joe, what's up, man? Anything in High Republic is a crappy listing. Hence the market value is negative $65. Ghetto Finger Gaming, what's going on, man? Long time no see. I haven't seen a lot of your shows lately. I was thinking about you the other day. This guy's got super cool, like kind of fun videos about video games and stuff. And I was thinking about you the other day because like I wanted to look at more video game stuff, and then I got caught up with work, so I got to catch up on your stuff, man. But thanks for coming through. All right, now to the next one. All right, you guys know how much we hate this book, Black Panther 3 and 9.8. The last 9.8 I actually saw sell this book, and I don't know if it was the variant. I couldn't really confirm that because it was confusing, but supposedly $75. Let's just be nice and give it a century mark, $100 for 9.8. It's the first appearance of Tosin. I always call this book the like start of the downfall of the COVID era of selling books and stuff. And yeah, I just think this is crazy. $1,300 for a 9.8 asking, and $900 for a raw. Like, why even post that? Like the time that you even did to like post that and all that crap, like you got to be freaking kidding me. Like what a waste of time. What a waste of time for me to scroll and find the stupid listing. Darth, did you flip this book? I can't remember if you flipped this book.
I did. I flipped all of them. And I had candidates for 9.8s on just the Ross cover. And I paid to get them pressed. And I was like, I'm not even gonna go that route. And I just, sold them raw. But yeah, I did. I think I got over 5. I never believed in this book. A lot of us in the comic book community never did. I think it's the biggest troll Marvel ever did. I think it wasn't even Marvel. It was what was it?
Comic book.
Yeah.
CBR. One of those
something
websites.
Like that, right? Yeah. And I remember. excuse me. I remember going into my LCS and there it was, man. $35.
$35? Did you pay for $35 for this book?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Then nobody saw it coming, or we did, but it was people got in the community got the tip late, I think, something like that. So there was a chance to go get it the day of, but after that was it. Like after that, I don't know if you would have found it a day or 2 or 3 days later, maybe. But that same day, I found 5 of the A covers and like 6 of the B covers.
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
Yeah, I remember all that, and people gassed it, but there was a lot in the community that were like, cash out, red flag. So
I will say the one nice thing about this series was like I got to see really cool Alex Ross covers, and then the other thing was this book put me on to Torrin Clark. And so now I'm always looking out for Torrin Clark covers. He did some really cool Star Wars covers back in the day, but that's all it did for me. I remember seeing this on many whatnot shows. I'm gaming. I'm hopping on Discord on physical. We'll do this for PSP. Yeah, man. Fuck yeah, man. We should talk about that later, man. That's good. That's a good stuff right there. Man, I love video games. Anyway, I remember seeing this on Whatnot show like the Thursday after when kind of the hype was going on and the craziness, and someone sold a raw for like that 1300 9.8. Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
Pickles. Have you ever had this book before? Any version?
No. I mean, now it's like at a reasonable price, but I wouldn't want to own it. But before, it was just way too expensive. I was like, yeah, no.
Did we ever talk about that? Like, I feel like we did. Like, did you see that like listing or blah, blah, blah?
Well, with this book, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you had it and sold it too, right?
Yeah, I bought it on a Whatnot sale for like 300. I pressed it and got a 9.8 and sold it for 8.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Yep.
And looking back on it, like, right, like it reminded me of like an overhyped IPO and like getting out. Like, cause like when I would ask people like, okay, so he's the next Miles, but like, what does he do? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, crazy oh dude, it was crazy speculation on it. But there was a lot of guys that were reading it, were actually calling it that he was just like a pass me by character. And where's he at now? I don't read Black Panther. I did hear that run was good in the beginning. I don't know now, but where is he? So
I don't know.
Yeah, right. You can't even answer that. I don't even know if they've reprinted this book now. I don't know, but yeah, I cashed out. It was never long-term spec, and that's when sometimes the market and the community could be, could get it wrong.
Yeah.
Because I feel sorry for everybody that paid those prices.
Yeah, I really do. I mean, I feel bad for people that like thought this was like the next gold boom or like NFT boom and all that. But that's the COVID era, man. I will never forget that.
Yeah. You flip, man. It's hey, I said I feel sorry for him, but then I flipped it. But hey, it is what it is.
They did him kind of dirty too. They like hyped him up as being like this super ultra powerful thing, and then I think in one of the books a little bit later on down the run, you meet his girlfriend who's like way more powerful than him.
Right. Right. Yep.
Yeah, they did do him dirty for sure.
It's like all of a sudden his girlfriend shows up and she's like saving him because she's like a dark arts Wakandan or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the Wakandan lore is like really interesting and like they could really. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. But yeah, Pickles, you're right. Because like I remember when you told me about that, I was like, what a waste of a character, man. Like that's just so weird. I don't get it. But anyway, next up, Captain Carter number 3, the 1 in 25. I was stuck on that Tosin deal. This is another the COVID boom is over book. Market value for this book is I would say $100 and 9.8. People are still paying $100, which, that's fair because, like, I think it's a really beautiful cover. Honestly, it's got nice fonts. It's got that kind of old school kind of look to it. It's the first app of live action Captain Carter or Captain Carter named as, I don't know. I don't want to get in an argument about it, but someone's asking $350 for a 9.8, so that's $250 over the last market price. You need to take that listing down, like right now. Darth Lopez, I know you're a Cap Carter fan, or sorry, you're a Cap Marvel fan.
Yes, sir.
But did you fall okay? So why do you think people list this for $350 9.8?
I don't know.
If you had this book and you were going to list it for a buy now, like what would be your process? I'm just curious.
Well, I check the market. Check, sold items. I mean, I look at the book and I go check what they sell for. Mm-hmm. And I'd average it out on, what I'm willing to accept at the lowest and list it. But but again, it's another book. I never was dangerous, never bought into it. Didn't try to get it. Didn't see it coming. Didn't go try to find it. Even the second print was kind of, like almost a triple flip. But again, I would have never spec'd on this book myself. So I think if that's a new listing, I think that's just desperation, trying to get some money back.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he found it pretty cheap, got a 9.8 and is trying to maximize. Who knows? But it's another danger book. Danger.
Danger. There's your one right there, one of the Dark Danger book. And Pickles, on the flip side, like what would motivate you to pay $350 for this book or over market price?
I guess if you absolutely love the character.
Yeah. What's the spec? It is done, right? Her what was it? Was it a TV show, maybe? Or
so it was greenlit in 2022 for like a couple seasons of Captain Carter, and her first app is right that Exiles 3, but she's like Captain. I forget because I had both these books, but like the spec was no, this is like specifically the Captain Carter that's coming to live action, and Exiles 3 is just an appearance of her from an alternate universe. So it's like, huh?
Oh, way complicated.
Yeah.
Oh, and she was on the Doctor Strange.
Right, she was in Doctor Strange, right? Yeah. But I think it was the Captain Carter from like the Captain America's. It's like
too much complicated.
Yeah. What if season 2, right? Correct. And Maxine says need like $200 cash back to make that transaction. Yeah. Yes, and and that's kind of what it is, man. Like Doc Joe, like you're probably one of the smartest buyers out there. Like that's essentially what it is. Phone will drive 75% of modern sales. Yeah.
Facts.
But yeah, that was the spec. So I thought the only reason I liked this book was because it was a really cool cover. I thought just the shine on the shield and all that, but like she's a DE. Like I hark back to Trey and his philosophies about spec. It's like if it's a D or E list character, like don't pay like a ton of money for it. You know, it's just not smart. So shout out to Trey. Miss that guy. And this is a book that I actually have been looking for, and the market's kind of weird on this one, but this is a really weird ask price. And by the way, these like auctions here or like these listings, they're not best offers. These are like people want that much money for these books, and I don't know what strategy they're thinking of, but it's just funny. So this Venom 9 animation variant, it's the first full appearance. Some people say second appearance of Dylan Brock. I know there's been a lot of news about Dylan Brock possibly being like taking over the mantle because Eddie Brock is no longer going to be. Tom Hardy is like going to step away from the MCU, but I don't really know. So I feel like the 9.8 value of this book is 125 from what I could see. I'd like this for 100. I've always liked this cover. I just think the cover is just great. Like I said, it's the first full appearance of Dylan. 950 for a 9.8 asking. I don't even think this went for 950 when like the market was crazy for Donny Cates spec, Venom, all that crap. Great future character we might see on next week's show. Who knows? But Pickles, I'm gonna start with you. Were you a big Venom fan? You love this run, right? I mean, I think I told you, not like I told you about this, but like I was like, hey man, if you want to read a good series, read Venom. Am I right?
Yeah. That's how I got into it and got into I think I started back because I wanted to get into the null run of it too. So I went back and did like the King in Black and the Absolute Carnage and all that leading into it too.
Yeah. Kind of reader question for you. Would you say that out of those 3 series or actually King in Black or Absolute Carnage, which one did you like better?
I think I liked Absolute Carnage a little bit better than the King in Black. I think it might just be because of the way that I don't know. I think I just liked the completeness of it, like versus the King in Black had some moments where I was just kind of like, like it felt like it was rushed a little bit.
King in Black, yeah, and then like it just couldn't stick the landing. Like the only Donny Cates story that stuck the landing was Absolute Carnage because it was like extending into King in Black, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's right, man. Well, his Guardians run was good, and that's way back, man. That's like 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
I had just got into the hobby, back into the hobby, and that run was really good. I didn't even know it was Donny Cates until in the Venom, when he was on Venom. Like I didn't know.
Was that like? Did it feel like a Donny Cates like story, or would it
But
just kind of like good story?
you know what? It was just a good story, and
Mm.
I didn't know who I was reading.
Mm.
You know, and again, like I said, I only know it was Donny Cates because of Absolute Carnage. Because I did read that, and like I said, I agree with you guys on that. And I read Silver Surfer Black, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, he doesn't stick the landing, but you know, his stuff is really good.
Yeah. I miss prime Donny Cates, but again, 950 for 98. I mean, that's just like stupid, like, right? Like I just, I was just laughing at these freaking sales when I was going through them. But and Doc Joe, I kind of answered you, but kind of want to highlight this. Like, yeah, it'd be interesting to see like how long these sales have been on for. Like, do people just like leave them or just keep them going until like they hopefully hit? It's like it's the weirdest thing ever. It's like trying to sell a bankrupt like penny stock for $1. It just doesn't make any sense. But
Sometimes I think some of these posts, these listings are troll listings. They're just listing them knowing damn well nobody's gonna buy them. I don't know.
right.
Like the first book, like why would you list it? You know, it doesn't go for that.
Yeah.
Probably it's not gonna sell. So I think just a troll listing.
I guess for me, like I got better time on my hands than to troll
Right.
people on eBay.
Yeah.
Like it's
Oh, I
just,
know, bro.
you know what I mean? That's just so weird. It's weird. And here's the other thing too. To kind of like, so I didn't do like, I looked at users that have like a lot of like, feedback, at least 100.
Right.
So these aren't like I have zero feedback. I have these are like stores asking for this. So you know how we always go into like stores and we're like, we go to a comic book store and we're like, oh, there's a Young Avengers on the wall for $350. This is kind of what it reminded me of, right? Like those comic book stores that just do not know how to, like they have wallpaper on their walls, trying to get stupid prices for stuff because for whatever reason, however you want to do your business is fine, but like you're just going to lose customers that way, So I don't know. It's funny. We're about 30 minutes into the show. I want to thank all 9 Live. We've been doing these shows a little earlier just because of football season and just schedules and stuff. I want to thank the panel for coming through on a Sunday. You guys do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, tell all your friends. We're at 830 subs this past week. So good job. Anyway, next book. So another book that I just interests me. I don't think I ever buy this book ever again. But Darth Vader 3, the 1 in 25. 950 sold. That was back from August. So I think people are holding on to this book. It's obviously the first appearance of Dr. Aphra. There are multiple listings, though, for 2009.8. That's double than what you could buy this for. Darth, I'm going to start with you. Do you have this book? Or if you don't, would you think 950 or how high would you, how high would you go on this book? Not looking at the market value, just kind of like, oh, I know this book, blah, blah,
blah. In the current market, I don't think nobody's really looking for this book anymore, but it would, I'd have to factor in what I paid for it. If I bought it raw a long time ago for 100, I got to get that back. I got to get my grading fee, my shipping fee. So I'd probably go 300. It just depends, what the recent sales are.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if I got it for if I bought in low, I'm not gonna get greedy and get the max value that I can.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know what it is for this book anymore, because this is, again, to me, respectfully, dead spec. Was dead spec back then, but the cool character who probably deserved that buzz because she did.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said back then, in my thoughts, I think whatever character. So, FOMO.
Yeah, I think to get market price of $2,000 for this book, she has to be the focal character in all of Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't even think if they announced her, you'd even get 2,000 now. The market is completely changed.
Yeah,
I think Yeah, those high prices of whatever that was, this book, 9.8 or raw, are never going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's never max at that.
I think the Null, like, you know, the Null preview is kind of an example of that, right?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah. So Pickles.
Yeah.
You had this book, right? No.
No, I've looked for it, but it's always been kind of pricier. I mean, it's not even for the spec either. I just really like the cover.
Yeah, the cover's dope, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's kind of why I've always been looking for it, but I've never owned it. No, it's always been like fucking. They want like $1,000 or something like that for it.
Yeah, and to me, it's just not worth $1,000. I mean, like I said, like you'd have to, like I would have to really love this character.
Right.
I've read Dr. Aphra, and she's not really my jive personally. Yeah, it's
in rarity though, because I think we talked about this book not too long ago. In rarity, you almost could justify $1,000 in 9.8 because I don't think. I mean, the print runs on these were decent. It would get into that, you know, rarity of the 1 in 25. You know, all that, you know, because it might have snuck up on people.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time the pandemic came around, nobody had this book, kind of. You know what I mean? Like nobody was specking on it, and then the pandemic just inflated it. I think there is some legitimacy to it being like kind of rare.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe yeah. See, I don't know, 500, 800 now, and in modern, in what the market is currently. Yeah, it's not $1,000 book. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably, I don't know, 500. You know what? When we're done, I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole and look at it, see where it's at.
Oh yeah, Trent does look. Okay. What's up, Fedora? We're about halfway done with the show.
Really?
And you're a little choppy a little bit, but whatever. Yeah.
He was at the Yankee game.
No,
Did the Yankees win this week?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they did. But why? Hey, the Royals. I said, man, and that's not even their best pitchers pitching.
Their best pitchers. They walked 2 of the guys.
We'll see.
Who are I don't want to talk about baseball right now. I hate all baseball.
It's a rabbit hole.
Just kidding. No, it's all good. Congrats, guys. Daredevil number 9. Yummy. So this. I'm not mad at this. I liked the Echo series. I thought it was pretty cool. Let's go Dodgers. Yeah. 117 for 9.8, and that was just a direct sale. First Echo. If you guys don't know, this is the first Echo. $900 from a store. Buy it now in 9.8, and that wasn't even a newsstand. It was just a direct. So
are they expecting the character to be big?
Wait, what was that?
That's what I mean. I think I've seen those listings from the stores. I think they just don't have time or don't care to go back and fix the price.
That's a lace. That's a bad.
Yeah, I know.
That's a bad. No excuses, man. These stores,
just like
they're not getting any of my money.
Right.
I'm just kidding. It's all good. And like that's a funny thing too, right? Because like I mean, I think I don't know. Whatever. Fedora, man. I was wondering, do you think this has staying power, Echo?
No.
All right, next. Dark.
I mean,
just kidding.
It depends. It depends what they do with the character. I don't know, because that for a while, like that book was like hot for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
What was the last sale in the 9.8?
117, right there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what Raws were going for.
Oh, like back in the day. Yeah.
Bro, Raws were going for like 200. I remember like wanted to complete the run, and I was like, damn, bro, like this is. I personally thought Lady Bullseye would be worth more, but I was really surprised that Echo was going more for Lady Bullseye. That was weird. And then there was another one. I think Daredevil 609 second print. That one was going crazy for a little bit.
Yeah. There's a David Aja variant as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and Aja, right?
Darth.
Yeah.
Damn, you blew
Echo.
my mind.
What are your thoughts on Echo?
I think she's a cool character. I didn't read this run. I heard it was good.
It was good. It was gritty. Yeah.
I think again, it's one of those books if you were going to cash out, should have been back then. But I don't think this is a danger book. It's kind of a safe book because I think this character's got some love in the community and the readers. But I what they should be probably, and we don't know. We don't know if they're going to bring her back. I don't know if she's going to be in Born Again. We definitely know she's not a. They're not going. She's not a mutant, right?
Yeah.
Not you. Man, if they did that, that would be a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, because I think she even became the Phoenix in the Avengers run.
Oh gosh, I stopped reading Avengers like after 58. I think the last run.
I
think you're right.
Yeah, no, she did. She did in that whole. It was Jason Aaron, I think.
Yeah.
Prehistoric, or they were fighting Mephisto. It was whatever, but I think she's a cool character.
Mm-hmm.
I like the show. But I was disappointed. I thought it was going to be a bit more brutal, more action packed.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like it. I didn't think it was complete garbage.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think the one thing about that show is I wish it was more gritty, like the comic was. That's the only thing I think that could have done better for the show. But I think they were trying to. I felt they were trying to attract more female viewers, which is fine, but I think you would have had a better opportunity to attract more male viewers if it was more gritty. Pickles. I was going to ask you. So if you were to see this at a store for like $50 raw, would you grab it? And it was like 9.8 from your eyeball can see.
Maybe maybe less. I'd maybe offer him like 40.
How about 40? Cool.
I mean, just because I like the character, but I don't really care about the first appearance. I like the cover of the book is cool.
Yeah, Dave Mack,
it would. Sure. I don't think it would. It's nothing that I would want to keep personally. So it would be like if I could buy it cheap and flip it, then.
Oh, you're trying to flip it. Okay, I gotcha.
I wouldn't like buy it for myself.
For the world.
Have you guys submitted anything to CGC the past like 2 weeks?
No.
Not even in like months.
I don't, dude. I don't. As far as that goes, and not because of anything going on with CGC, but I don't really anything
is gradable.
I'm not trying to. Yeah, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, yeah, no. Maybe some older books I have that I wouldn't care and grade, but right now I'm kind of like I'm in limbo. Right now I'm trying to go. I think I'm
chef.
I want to go digital. I don't want floppies, but then I
floppies.
Yeah, single issues. I don't.
I was like floppies.
Yeah, I just learned that. I don't know who I was watching or where I was watching. I heard that term, but I'm struggling. And I've told you guys in our chat, like I'm going digital. I think by the beginning of the year I'll decide. I think I might go digital, man.
Bobby Digital. Bobby Digital.
Yeah, it's just cheaper, bro. I mean, $4.99 a book, $3.99 a book. I read most titles. I'm like a month, 2 months behind on my books, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, it's not. It's it's all about consumption.
Ooh, damn.
So this what? Oh, Jets lost.
Well, the Jets lost, but I just happened to the Houston Texans Bills game just started, but fucking Houston's jerseys are fire. I've never seen them before. They're all black with like red, letters and blue outline around them.
Man, dude, I can't. I'm in the Chicago area, so I got Cincinnati, Baltimore. I didn't get the football package, man. It's just too expensive. So I gotta watch regional.
My buddy goes through what is it? His girlfriend's got YouTube TV, and she gets the NFL stuff for free through that, and I guess it's pretty cheap.
Yeah,
so he just throws it on his Fire Stick and friggin' uses it wherever.
Throws on his what? Oh, Fire Stick.
Yeah, I know. I got a coworker that offered. I don't know.
Yeah.
But go Bills.
Well, there's your guys' update for football, if you guys are curious. Star
No,
Wars.
I just happened to look over. I was like, whose jerseys are those? And I was like, is that Houston? I was like, damn, those look good.
You're going to be rocking.
They remind me of like the Clippers, LA Clippers, red and black and blue jerseys.
The Clippers?
Kind of. You know, they have the all black jersey with the red and blue trim.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. Those are nice. Those
kind of
nice.
what it reminds me of. Not that I like the Clippers at all, because fuck the Clippers, but
oh my god. Oh, kidding.
the other residents of the Staples Center.
Right.
Have you gone to a Laker game?
Me? Yeah.
Lately? What?
Oh,
Fedora,
no.
what is going on? All right. Star Wars 42. You guys all know this is the first appearance of Boba Fett and Dengar and Bosk, I guess, on the cover. Market values come down quite a bit on this. 900 for a 9.8 direct edition. I don't think it's that bad. This was the funniest fucking sale of the week. $3,699 available now in a 9.8. This seller had like, I think at least 1,000 or like 4 figures in feedback at least. This dude wants almost $4,000 for a direct edition in 9.8 when you could get one for like $1,000 maybe.
Nice.
Darth, I'm gonna start with you. Do you have this book in your collection?
No, never owned it. Nope.
Never wanted to own it?
No, never.
No.
Nope.
Cool.
Boba's not my guy, man. He's cool, but
yeah,
was never my guy, even as a kid. To me, he just was a pass me by character.
And I think like the lore of Boba Fett is like the fact that he took his mask off and like speaks kind of takes away the allure of the mysteriousness of Boba Fett, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and then there was really nothing. The lore on him was not that much, right? So when they did that, they kind of ruined his. I'll just say for me, ruined his character because there was nothing established really character-wise before that. So it's like 40 years later. Oh, he's older, he's overweight, and he's got to refine himself. They messed up the character a little bit.
Yeah,
a badass back. That's what they should do. Just go. I mean, they always go back, right? Star Wars can't get their shit together, but they should have just went back and done a Boba like in the Empire era, like in Episode 4 era, like a badass Boba Fett. You know. Instead, we got what did he say? I want to rule respect, Boba. It's a horrible show.
Yeah, it was. Sequential Geeks in the house. What's going on, man? It seems like they messed up since Boba Fett, the show was not lame enough. That's their goal, right? To make shit lame. Yeah, for sure. Fedora, Boba Fett. $4,000. You guys selling that at Midtown for $4,000?
I've never seen that book there. We don't really get Star Wars, like old Star Wars books like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the people who have it don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But I remember 2020 this was like the book to get. Like if you had that book, people were like, whoa, you're the man. Like I remember posting, everybody was like, whoa. That was like a brick of gold in 2020. Like if you had this, like you was getting your dick sucked. Pause. Like that's how crazy it was.
Or you were. Never mind. Pause.
Listen, but I saw Blue Green. He was saying that he bought it raw. Like I remember, I wanted to gift this book to a friend, and I was like, it was so expensive raw that I tried to get like the magazine because I think that was like they were saying like that's the true first appearance of Boba Fett.
Right. Some people.
Right. Yeah.
That's the magazine. It's like I don't know. I disagree with that, but whatever. That's another topic. But
yeah. Long story short, we don't really get like crazy Star Wars keys like that. We might get like the first what's this archaeologist chick?
Dr. Aphra.
We'll get like the first Dr. Aphra. We might get the Kanan book, the Kenan, whatever. I don't know anything about Star Wars. But we get modern Star Wars. Old Star Wars, I've never seen an old Star Wars book come into the shop like ever. And I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen first Iron Man. I've seen first Black Widow. I've seen first Punisher. I've seen like crazy shit, but I never see old Star Wars books.
They keep them. they're all my age and older, and they keep them.
So take that for what it is. But yeah, I don't see it.
Here's a good question for you, Fedora, because you obviously work at a shop and all that. So like, how do you guys determine, like, if you got a Star Wars 42 like coming in through the shop? I mean, obviously this seller is, I don't know what their problem is, but like what do you guys look at to list a Boba Fett Star Wars 42? Like, what would you guys look at if you had a raw and it was like, you know, fairly okay condition? Like, how would you guys price it?
I mean, I don't work at that department. There's a whole department for like buying and selling.
Okay.
Yeah, they have like an email. Like we give out a business card for people who ask, because we don't do it in store. But I know that they do slightly a little bit over market value. So like, I know like if there's a book that's like $100, we'll have it in the shop for like maybe like $150, which I guess if you look at it, you know, it pays for overhead and the staff and stuff like that, the little bit extra stuff. So, and most people are okay with that because they don't have to deal with eBay and they don't have to like, you know, go through, like, if they don't like the grade, they send it back. So I think people are okay with that when they're coming in person and buying keys. Like I sold a Deathstroke for 200 and the kid was like, oh, but you know, it's 150 on eBay. And I was like, sure, but you're looking at it now, like you could see that like it's near mint. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to take the risk and like pay the 150 on eBay and it might not be near mint. You might not get a 9.8 versus me confidently telling you right now that you could, this is like a really crazy near mint book that could maybe, you know, you could potentially get more out of it. And then look what ended up happening. Look what Deathstroke is doing now.
Right.
So a lot of these old Star Wars books, we have like old Star Wars toys as well, and those sell very well. But people are willing to let go of the old Star Wars toys, but not the old Star Wars comics.
Huh. I would rather give up the old Star Wars comics than the toys, personally, but it's just generational thing.
Because at my store right now, we have a vintage Boba Fett toy set, like the ship.
Slave One?
Yeah, whatever it is. I know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You're
whatever
like,
it is, I know it's Boba Fett, like 1,000%.
It's the one that like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we have the first ever toy of it.
That's actually pretty tight. I like that.
Yeah, I thought it was really weird that we have that over the comic, but the fuck do I know? I don't know anything about Star Wars.
Cool. I mean, it's good to know, you know, like curiosities of how people list their stuff as opposed to 369 pandemic. I should get that much. Pickles, do you have a Boba Fett tattoo on you, right?
Yes.
And you have the Boba Fett first appearance as well, right?
Yes.
How much?
You actually do.
It's a raw copy.
What's the grade on it, you think?
Like a 8.
Like a 10.
It's not, it hasn't been cleaned or pressed or anything, but it's probably like an 8.5-ish. So it might get a bump from it. If there's, that I can tell, there's not really anything wrong with it.
And here's another question for you. What, like, I'm assuming you got it from Robot Monster Island, the whatnot guy?
No, this I actually bought online.
Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. I was going to ask that question. So, are you going to get it graded, or are you just going to wait for something else?
I might at some point. It just depends on, like, if I have, because it's more or less like if I find something that is maybe a better grade at a good price, I'd be willing to part with that in lieu of upgrading it.
Sure.
So it's kind of dependent upon that. I mean, I got a couple books like kicking around that I'm just debating whether I want to keep raw or if I want to send off to have graded, like my Swamp Thing signed by Wrightson and all that stuff. It's just like, do I want to get it graded and deal with that, or do I want to just like keep it the way that it is, maybe get it cleaned and pressed, and then just have it protected at home?
That's cool. I mean, I'm kind of the same way too, like with gray and stuff. But all right, on to the next book, Star Wars 42. If you want the great deal for $4,000, about 300%
Nah,
over what it's actually selling you
yo,
for.
he definitely got fleeced during the pandemic, and he was like, I need to make my money back.
I
He
mean,
got fleeced.
Well, because like usually when I'm pricing books too, I'll go a little bit above what it's selling for, but that's just because I know that if I list it at a good price, some motherfucker's still gonna try and like bid lower and be like, here, I'll offer you this. And it's like, dude, it's already priced like better than like everybody else out there. And I can part with it at that, but it's like there's always somebody that's going to try and undercut the price that you have. So I'm just like, screw it. I was like, I'll just bump it up a little bit. That way they have that like room to bump down.
That's me.
And as a seller, man, I mean, you can always say like, unfortunately, this is my like last price, and they sometimes take it. And they're just like, fuck it or whatever.
It's like I'll use it just to give the wiggle room to go down to where it should sell at. It's like I'm not trying to make extra off of anybody. It's just more or less like I know you're going to come with an offer before you actually buy it at the price. So it's like I'd rather just do it that way. Yeah.
And Tony's got to, I mean, I guess you can't blame anyone for future price too. I don't know if this will ever go up to $4,000 at future prices. I would think honestly, like the play, if you're a Star Wars like investor, quote unquote, it's not the comic books, it's the toys, man. It's the old school toys. Like I just think they have longer staying power. But that's just me.
Yeah, definitely.
What the fuck happened?
And what?
God damn it. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Fantasy stuff. Our crazy league is acting crazy. So talk about fleeced. Invincible Iron Man #9. I was actually with Pickles at Seattle Comic Con, Emerald City, a couple years back. And I actually almost bought this book for like $400. Remember, dude? Remember we were at that con, and I was like, oh man, I get that, and I could flip it for like a 9.8 And you're like, oh yeah, go ahead and look at the offer. And he wanted $600 for it, and there was a huge spine tick like right in the middle, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna touch that. But last price this sold was $680. That was in August, so that's not really a current sale. It's first appearance of Ironheart. You guys all know. Some person wants $2,400 for this 9.8. Talk about fleeced. Darth, I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah.
Are you a believer in Ironheart, like the future of her?
No. That doesn't mean that she can't be cool in the show and have a good role in the MCU going forward. But even in the comic books, I don't really see it. I see her more having a chance in the MCU than in the comic books. And I think this character's going to get a lot of hate in the comic community and the market wise because of maybe it was over exaggerated. People overpaid and now they're stuck with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This book and a lot of others, man, it really hurt. For people who paid for this book, dude, I feel sorry for them, dude, because, dude, this book was going for what in 9.8, man? Like $3,000 or whatever it was.
I saw $6,000.
I think raw at one point it was over $1,000.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
There's debatable. Is this a debatable first? Could you say that it's actually right? See, so it's one of those things where danger. It's a danger book, man.
What's up, Cody?
Even back then, I was nope. If I find it, and I did try, the only reread book I found was the hip hop variant.
That was a cool cover.
Yeah, and
I was mad at that cover.
I didn't find any of her stuff out there, man.
Mm-hmm. Pickles, did you ever get into this Invincible Iron Man stuff?
I had a couple of them. I didn't have this variant, but I had like the second print, I think, or whatever it was, the one where she like with the on the machine on the cover of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
The one with the cover on it?
Like the second print or whatever, where it's like the fucking suit on the front of it spread.
Oh
like
yeah,
spread out like.
That's the regular cover, I think. Cover A.
What do they call that? The Da Vinci variant? I've heard it called the Da Vinci variant before, but because of the Da Vinci. Never mind.
Yeah,
freaking the cycle of man Da Vinci thing or whatever it is.
Yeah, that pose you do sometimes when you get wasted.
She's got some awesome velvet.
I call that the Da Vinci Snow Angel. He was ahead of his time.
What'd you say, Darth? Sorry.
No, I said she's got some dope variants. One of her runs, like some Bartel variants and whoever else variants.
Yeah.
She's got some nice variants.
Yeah.
And those are rare, right? Even back then, I don't know if they were going for crazy money, man. I don't know what they go for now. But this is one of those characters where, pandemic, man, super FOMO.
Super FOMO. Yeah, I didn't understand it at all. Fedora, like, what are your thoughts on this book for $2,400 in 98?
That's another person that got fleeced during the pandemic, and they're trying to recoup. This should just be retitled top 10 sellers that got fleeced during the pandemic. Yeah,
you could do it. Oh man.
I mean, I do think Young Avengers is gonna happen inevitably. She will be in it, but I don't know. It just doesn't really seem like they're planning to do anything with her at this point. Like I don't really know what's happening with her in the MCU, but it does feel like it does feel like Young Avengers is inevitable, but I don't really know what they're gonna do. So I gotta know. I mean, I guess I could see this going up, depending on how well the Young Avengers movies do, but I don't know. Like it's one of those things where I feel like it could do well over time, or it might not do well at all. Because I think the potential is there, but I really don't know what they're doing. Because I feel like they wasted her in the Black Panther movie.
I just typed that.
You did?
Yeah. No, I mean we're on the same wavelength, but yeah, I think they wasted her too. I mean, like I thought I didn't like the actress, like her acting, and maybe they just wasn't like coached very well or directed very well, but like she just seemed so like lost the whole time. I'm like, I mean, I was a college kid back in the day. I wasn't that freaking ignorant, but like, I thought the focus was it was a tough freaking thing to do, right? Because he just died, and so they had to rewrite everything. So I think there was a lot of emotion in that movie in general.
There's a lot going on.
So characters.
There was Namor, there was Black Panther, there was Riri, it just seemed like they tried to introduce a lot of ideas all at once. I don't know. We'll see.
I liked the movie though. I think it was all right.
The movie was cool. I liked the movie. I liked Namor. But yeah, I just didn't like how Riri was introduced. I think they just didn't do a very good job of introducing her, and they're like, oh, just put her in the movie, and
right.
Too much rewriting in that movie, I think, personally.
It's the Spider-Man error.
Huh?
Said it's the Spider-Man error.
Yeah.
Every time Spider-Man movies try to put too many villains and characters in them, one or two of the characters always end up being like terrible. Like when they like in the original Tobey Maguire run, it's like you had the first couple where it was like you introduced a couple guys, but then you had three where you tried to bring in Topher Grace as Venom, and you tried to do Sandman, you tried to do this guy, and it's just like some of the characters just didn't work. And I feel like that's kind of what happened here was you had, like you said, the death of Chadwick, and like that whole first entry, like I remember being in the theater and the like room was silent for the entire like first 5 minutes while they had kind of like his funeral procession and all that stuff happen. And then it jumped in and like Namor was cool, everybody else, but it's like Riri kind of fell by the side and felt like it was rushed.
She's essentially what she was, like a C-level character. And I'm not trying to hate on her in that in like any respect. If I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but like that's how she felt like in the movie.
She was happy, like happy from Iron Man, like his character.
Kinda.
She was like that kind of character in the movie.
Like a sidekick. Got a few good action scenes, and that was it. Like when they go find her, when Atlantis comes out and they snatch up Riri, that was a dope scene. The movies, but I agree with you guys. Too many characters.
I just think so like I'll move on to the next one. I got one more thing to say because I liked the story of Riri, And what I liked about it was they focused on like her family upbringing and like kind of her like story as Riri, not so much as Ironheart or whatever. I just wish they would have done that and just waited for more time, you know. But I don't know. Studios are weird,
I mean, they
and
might retcon her.
I like the
Yeah.
I like the relaunch that they did when she's taking the cover where she had with the selfie. She's taking the selfie cover. She was flying while holding the phone.
Yeah.
That one was really good. I like that one.
I think a lot of people back then in the pandemic were saying that one of those runs was pretty good.
It was.
her
Yeah,
Ironheart run was awesome. It was really well written, and Bendis did it. I mean, like, however you feel about Bendis, he's a great writer. You can't deny that. So, all right, I think that's it. Hold on, what the hell? Oh, just a couple. This is my bargain buy of the week. So I'm kind of a closet Jason Todd like fan, and so I'm always trying to find like Jason Todd like keys or whatever. I'm not trying to grade this, but like I thought this was a good deal. I know there's some news about, you know, the Robins being like a new animated series, and so that kind of like, oh, I should look at some Red Hood or Jason Todd stuff. So I got this book. It's a newsstand for $7. It usually goes for like 25 in near mint, and from the pics of this copy, it was in pretty nice condition. I think it will probably grade a 9.4, but again, like I just wanted to have it. I love the cover. It's Killer Croc was my first DC comic book villain I ever read. So, and Batman was the first book I ever read when I was a kid. So this always kind of has a nostalgic feel to me. But yeah, $7. I couldn't, you know, I couldn't resist. So I got into that. Pickles, are you a Jason Todd fan? Do you have Red Hood first app?
I don't have any Red Hood books, no, but I'm familiar with the character. I like it. I like
you play him right on that Batman game?
Yeah, he was on my Gotham Knights game.
Oh, really? Is he pretty?
It was like him, Nightwing, Tim Drake, and Batgirl.
Would out of 10, what would you rate that game?
I actually liked it. I thought it was fun. Like I'd give it a solid 7.5, 8.
Yeah. Is there a strategy guide to go along with the game?
I'm sure there probably is if you search hard enough for one, but my search for those totals 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds of every day. So,
oh, sorry. Okay. And then on to my last. Can my wait for the FOMO to die down by? So this was kind of highlighted. Shout out to Richie. He said buy this on the dip. And so I went looking for one, and I found a clean copy for about $10. This is the third print of Venom 4, The Origin of Null. I think you guys all know I'm a huge Null fan anyway, and I was always on the hunt for this book, but like I couldn't pay $25 to $30 for this book. And when the Null news came out, obviously Venom 3, you know, moved quite a bit, but also this book moved quite a bit as well. I think there's a second print of this book, which I think is also pretty cool, but I think Stegman just kills it on this. I definitely want to get this signed. I'll get it prepped when I get it and all that stuff. But Fedora, are you seeing any movement? Has the FOMO kind of ended with Null?
Nah. There's it's funny because like Saturday, family from India came, and then there was the guy, the father, and his wife, and they had 3 daughters. And then the first thing they asked me when they walked in was, "Where's your Venom stuff?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Oh, right here." And then while the daughters were looking at like the little Venom singles, the dad was like, "Yo, like you have the omnibus Venom?" And then I was like, "Yeah." And I gave him the Todd McFarlane stuff, and he was like, "Nah, no, you got the Null stuff." And wow. I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Yeah, I'm going back to India, so I just want to read something. We really, really big fans of Venom, and so we're excited for the movie. So I'm gonna buy this." So he bought the omnibus, and the Null omnibuses have been selling. And what's really weird is like I've never seen a movie announced and people buy the omnibus that much. So that's like we've been moving it. I mean, the Null omnibus has always been something that's moved pretty decently, but outside of Invincible, The Null Omnibus has been selling phenomenally well, and that's $125. And you have to take into the account that they're coming from India, so the exchange rate is probably a lot different for them. So they're probably paying a lot of money for it, especially like in this economy when people don't really want to buy books. So it's moving because it's hard to sell omnibuses. I'm gonna be honest; those are hard to sell because people don't want to spend that much money on a comic that they may or may not like. And the McFarlane stuff sells a lot more, I would say, but it's null season, so that's so I kind of feel vindicated in the fact that I've been like, yo, like Null's the guy. So I think Null is probably, the modern Thanos, in my opinion, in terms of like impact culturally.
I really hope he's an end credit scene or like the last part, and we just have to wait. I just hope that we just have to wait for him.
That'd be the right way to set it up, just like the books.
Yes.
It's like you're like the anticipation of him arriving. Like maybe it'll just be him. Maybe it'll mostly just be him awakening up and then them getting the fucking signal that he's on his way.
Yeah.
But he goes to the MCU. That's what I mean, but I doubt that. So
he's gonna go to the DCU.
Dude, this has potential to end bad. I just hope every Null fans know it. If they don't transition Null over to the MCU, it's not gonna go the way you guys think. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't make sense that they wouldn't.
Right. I agree.
In my head, it's like they got the little drop of the thing in the MCU, right? So Null he's omnipotent. Like he's everywhere. So that little drop that Eddie Brock left in the MCU, that could be Null. Like we don't know, but whatever fucking comic book flim flam that they're gonna hit us over the head with.
Yeah.
So,
I'm thinking, because it says in the trailer says somebody's gonna die or whatever, and I'm thinking that maybe instead of that, Venom just shoots to the MCU because there's more heroes, so he just shoots to the MCU, and Null chases him, and Brock is like left there, and then maybe I don't know, but because I think Tom Hardy would come back for the MCU. That dude is a great actor, like Oscar nominated actor, bro. If MCU was like, yo, come play over here, I'm pretty sure he'd go.
Was he Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, Peaky Blinders. He was Bane. Peaky Blinders. He's Leo the Revenant. Was it the Revenant?
Mm-hmm.
Was he in Revenant? Oh, yeah, that's right, he was. Yeah,
bro, that's when he tells him, killing me ain't gonna bring your boy back. That movie was a beast, bro. That movie was good. Tom Hardy is a great actor, and I think if the MCU were like, again, hey, let's play over here, I think he would go.
Pickles, do you have a Tom Hardy tattoo on your
Tom Hardy? No. I don't have like any person. Well, Kobe. He's the only like actual like person that I have.
You got a Kobe tattoo?
Yeah, I got it's like the Time magazine cover after he had passed of him, like the black and white portrait of him bowing to the crowd after his final game.
I got the 81 points for LA Times.
Nice.
On your tattoo?
No. I still go. Man, I don't know. I'm 48 now. I would get his jersey, 8 and 28. I would get Vader. I'd get Rogue. Pearl Jam. I'm gonna get Pearl Jam tattooed on the back of my neck before I die. There's a few tattoos. It just hurts. I know it hurts.
It just hurts. I don't want to hurt.
It hurts, bro. It hurts. I want to get one on my head. Like, there's a lot of shit I want to do, but
one that I got on that I started last week that I go back into finish in a couple weeks, or 2 days ago or 3 days ago when I was getting done. Like, in my head, it was gonna be this little small one, like on the front of my thigh. I show up and it's like the whole thigh, like all the way up to like essentially like into like the crotch area there. I was like, hey man, he's like, we can go bigger if you want. I'm like, no.
Whoa.
On the thigh.
Hey.
Yo,
That it hurts, man. And
Yeah, that area was like bad. Like it was just like a couple of lines is all he's done there, but there's gonna be a lot of shading and color, and I'm just like,
you gotta
I'm like,
shave your
ow.
bikini area, dude. You gotta shave your bikini area.
No, it's just my thigh.
Oh,
it's faster, right? Because all mines were done when I was on a sabbatical. But I've heard that it's faster. Like that's the only good thing
that's
that
cool.
they have. The machines are quicker, and if the guy has a light hand, the one good thing that it's faster now. But it still hurts.
Well, it's all like the guy that does mine. It's all uses his needles are all Bluetooth. There's no cords or anything, so he can go like wherever he wants to. He's just like, it's not that I don't like the cords. He's just like they would get in the way all the time. So
damn, he can go wherever, huh? Wherever you're.
He's like, I could tattoo you on a plane if I wanted to. He's like, I won't, but I could. I'm like, yeah, no, please don't.
Please don't do that. Please don't. All right, I guess. Well, that's our show for the day. Just want to say, everyone, thank you for watching. My fantasy team is doing okay. We'll see for right now. The Bills are kind of slacking, but
No,
for the first half.
I hate fantasy, man. They're like, Ramondre Stevenson isn't starting. He's lost his starting role. He's fumbled 4 times in the last 4 games, blah, blah, blah. Motherfucker's got two rushes for 34 yards and a touchdown already. I'm like, yeah, you guys really sat his ass.
Nice. All right, well, good luck, everyone.
On my fantasy team, I put Bronny.
Bronny?
Yeah, just for fun.
Putting Braun in your fantasy team is like listing Venom 9 for $3,000 in a 9.8.
I agree, but it's fun. It's like why not? Like it's just fun to do dumb things in fantasy. I don't know anything about fantasy basketball, but somebody was like, "Yo, why don't you just do it for fun?" I was like, "Okay," and then I did like 4 hours of like studying, and then I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna put Bronny. Like, why not?" And then he got those 3 blocks, right, and the 1 assist, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty decent," you know. So,
God. Oh, anyway. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Fedora's got something fun for us next week, so y'all take care.
yes, I do.